Hi, good day again, all. Um, Ashley Mongrel here, Police Inspector. This is video 3, Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, 2nd Division Examination. Syllabus, Police Duties 1, for the ranks of Inspectors, Sergeants, and Corporals. So we are moving on to essay type questions. An essay type question is a statement and or a query on a topic as well as a directive word called a prompt. You are expected to respond by not only demonstrating knowledge of the topic but putting the information in the form suggested by the prompt. For example, you may be asked to describe, which is different from being asked to provide arguments in support of or against a decision. In an examination situation, the maximum length of the essay is usually specified, and you should try to be within 10% more or less of the specification. Pre-writing the essay, and some guides would follow. Analyze the question. What do you understand that the topic requires you to do? Do you have sufficient information given what is required? Recall what you know, the subject matter, including the appropriate jargon. Understanding the topic before writing about it is critical. Read all the questions and choose wisely. Useful starting points is to break the question or the statement by phrase or words, by words highlighted, and all the key words and phrases. These indicate the subject matter to be dealt with in the essay as well as the instructions of the examiner. Some questions are set out as statements, others as requests for your opinion or judgment with justifications and or examples. Sometimes you are required to make and state an assumption about the context for your answer. Examine the prompt, instructional or directive words in the essay title. These words reveal how the subject should be dealt with. The following are some common instructional words in the definitions. So here are the prompts. Account for. It means give reasons for, provide evidence in support of. Do not write. Do not confuse. Give an account of, which is asking you for a description. I say again, account for. Give reasons for. Provide evidence to support. Do not write. Do not confuse. Give an account of, which is asking for a description. Analyze. Break down into component parts and explain how they relate to each other. So the instructional word analyze requires you to break down into component parts and explain how they relate to each other. Assess requires you to estimate the importance or value of. Compare. Examine similarities and differences. Perhaps reach a conclusion about which is preferable to you. Consider. Take into account. Weigh up the advantages and disadvantages. The instructional word contrast. Examine the difference between and provide explanations. Define. Give the precise meaning of a word or phrase. Describe. Give a detailed account. Provide the main characteristics. Differentiate. Explain the difference or distinguish between. Discuss. Investigate and or examine in detail. Sift the arguments and debate. Give reasons for and against. Examine the implications. The instructional word evaluate. Appraise the merit or worth of something. Judge the impact, importance, or success of it. Include your personal opinion and evidence to support your evaluation. Explain. Provide details about how something happened and give reasons and account for your answer. Those are some of the instructional words and the meanings that you, the person taking the exam, should abide by. Illustrate, indicate, justify, relate, state, suggest, summarize. Those are some other instructional words that you need to consider when formulating the answer. Writing the essay. Once you have an idea of the scope of the essay, you can begin to write. An essay has three major parts: introduction, the main body, and the conclusion. The introduction. A good introduction sets the context for the essay, making it clear what you think the problem is, how you are going to approach it, and how the essay should develop. It should contain some comments on your understanding of the title and the main issues you are going to discuss, the order in which they are going to be discussed, and why. In other words, outline the main points you will be expanding in the body. The introduction provides the examiner or the reader with a preview of the stages through which the essay will develop. It usually does not need to be more than a paragraph. The main body. The main body of the essay provides the opportunity for you to present explanations and arguments with ideas, opinions, and facts. Key points should be presented in a logical manner and the linkages between them made explicit. It is vital that key points are supported by relevant examples of evidence. Each paragraph should raise a central issue, aspect, or idea and include evidence to support it. Each paragraph should be complete within itself and should be linked with the preceding or the following paragraph. Two paragraphs may present different ideas or sides of an argument, but linked to that difference. For example, paragraph 1 may address the cause of something and paragraph 2 may explain the effect. Other approaches may separate the positive and negative aspects of an argument or describe before and after situations. Continuity across paragraphs should be maintained and to signal to the reader how you are moving on by use of linking words such as however, similarly, consequently, as a result of, on the other hand, etc. The main body should present a balanced view and all aspects of the title are given adequate coverage. So that was your main body. The conclusion. A good conclusion signals to the reader that the essay has ended. It should show the examiner how the essay was answered and what was required of you. Ensure that all the ideas or arguments presented in the main body are summarized and set out in conclusion. Some essays require you to state an opinion, such as come to a conclusion. Summarize the main arguments which support your view, not the ones that weaken your judgment. Make it clear what implications flow from your conclusions. While the introduction and the conclusion should agree with each other and never be contradictory, avoid the temptation to repeat the introduction or introduce new information. The conclusion is normally about the same length or shorter than the introduction.